Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sorry about that. We had a circuit break. I don't even want to talk about it. But we had a power outage here in the studio. Got back in action. Got everything up and running. And we are here booming. And should get that UPC sooner than later so we can keep it running no matter what. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me. And that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Critical times here for Bitcoin. Struggling. Ethereum. Getting the pullback. What's happening? We need to zoom out, look at the bigger picture, see where we're at, see what's going down. I took profits this morning. Great trade from yesterday afternoon. We cleared all the losses and made gains, so that's a beautiful thing. Shout out to everybody here that's kicking it with me. Sorry, made it hard to find the stream. You had to be a soldier and follow me through the internet today with the multiple streams, but we're here, right back at it. God bless everybody here who kicked it. Let me kind of send the new link out to the world. And may God bless each and every one of you for being here. We should tweet that link out. I feel like we should tweet. We probably do, but we should delete any other tweets and send out a new tweet. Anyway, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Adam and Eve double bottom. Resistance of the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame for ETH. Could not get above it. It's all about the 200 moving averages. Hottest coin of the game is AERO pumping through the night. Little bit of a pullback in the early wee hours, but bumping into the night. 148 was a beautiful local high there for AERO. So we're starting to kind of get a big picture of the hotness here that's coming our way. All right. I'm excited for what can happen. And show me AERO. There you go. I don't want to see myself talking to myself. I was all dressed up, no place to go. You know? AERO 1.81 is the target I'm looking for. And we're in at 30 cents from a long time ago. Not trying to even, but you know. But that was a beautiful swing trade there, even at 120 and further to the upside. So AERO, kind of the first thing I want to talk about on the radar, the hottest coin of the game right now. AERO, baby. And here is the bot. Last time the bot was right here. Let's see if the bot can get its way out. We always watch the bot, and the bot always finds its way out. It'll have to buy lower and mitigate and push itself to a better place. You know, we'll find out. Stay tuned to find out if the bot finds its way out. It always does. It's 100%. You never know. Could this be the one time it does not? Find out here on the Crypto Lifer Show. All right. Bot trading's like everything else. It's getting really good. You get greedy. You put more in, and then by the end, you put so much in, and then that's when the bot has its first hiccup, and people take big losses. So anything can happen. You know what I mean? This bot does whatever it needs to get itself out, and it's super awesome. But you got to watch it, set good parameters, and, you know, you're definitely in control. But that's why I like MINOTAUR. A lot of bots are by themselves, and I hear a lot of people because they just don't know what happens. And MINOTAUR is a team, so when you sign up with the bot, you're not just signing up by yourself. You have a group of people that kind of know what's going on. They talk you through it. You're not all alone, and I think, you know, I wouldn't want to work with someone that didn't do that. So for me, I was very hesitant for bot trading. Couldn't do it, wouldn't do it. Didn't touch it. Thought I would lose everything because I would think it was all awesome, and eventually it wouldn't, you know. But there's the link to MINOTAUR trading. You get to this, and you could book a call right there with the team. But the point is, I sat with them. They talked me through it. I started with a little bit of money, more and more, and now I've seen it grow pretty awesomely. And it's just like another side stream of income of a why not? You know what I mean? So may God bless that. And excited. So AERO. Tightness. I want to see it continue in a nice little flag here and move on up for more. Completely unhindered by any of Bitcoin's ups and downs. It did not matter. Took a little pullback, but it was ready for more right off the previous resistance as support right there. I mean, SR flipping with the entry and the stop below that wick. Even after you get the liquidation, you get in with the entry below the liquidation. I mean, it's classic move there for AERO. Let's take a look at what's happening to Bitcoin on our top-down analysis here for BTC. I mean, right off the bat, you see that, right? There's a shoulder. There's a head. That's a right shoulder. That's nasty. That's got a very big head and shoulder pattern. That could take you to $111,000. I'm just a simple guy. I show the shape, and I show where the shape goes. It's really simple. You know, like the last big trade we made was this flag here. I mean, anyway, but Sold a local top at 124, 245. I don't know if you remember. Said I'm out. Said we're too far for the 21. Woke up. Called the bounce here on the 4-hour 200 moving average, which is still being respected, but not looking amazing. We could almost get in again. I can do the same trade again today with a stop on the other side. I'm thinking of doing it. I wrote it up to $1,400 in profit. I got out at about $850 this morning, to tell you the truth. Gave up $600 because we were at a flag of the 5, and I was willing to give the 5 that time. And it looked, very much so that we would break out. But they stop hunted. Like, it's just a lot of manipulation recently. Like, they know what people are seeing, I guess, So I was already in the trade, and that's a model of mine that breaks out way more than it doesn't. You've got the cup, you've got the handle. Like, they played it all so interestingly well. Again, they didn't take out the low, which means there could still be a bounce. If they take this yellow line out, they close a few candles below here on the 5, it's a wrap. Like, we're going lower for the day for sure, in my humble opinion. Damn near tripled my account this week. Thank you. Let's check out the coin that it made it possible. Inverted head and shoulder on XRP daily. Shout out to little Reggie. God bless you, little Reggie. We love you. God bless my leverage account. I don't know. God bless your ability to grow, man. And your leverage account is just a bypart of that. Buying your way out, the hold works until price action takes a long-term downtrend. 100%. 100%. But sometimes, honestly, even in a long-term downtrend, though, there's still a bounce back up. If you do the math correctly, you can mitigate yourself out, but you got to really get into the science. The science of mitigation is key. It's not easy. Probably get a bounce to 121 before a dump to 116, somebody says. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. I have no idea. Exactly. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I look at Bitcoin day in and day out, and I still won't tell you what I believe is going to happen, what I think is going to happen, because I don't know. I really don't. I'm playing chess with a chess player, market maker, hundreds of people, millions of dollars moving through the market. I don't know exactly what's about to happen. I read Trading in the Zone. If you sat and read Trading in the Zone, then you know exactly what I'm saying. Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas teaches you that each trade is separate of itself inside of the universe. He breaks down quantum theory in a way because he teaches you that he basically teaches this is trading in the zone here, okay? I highly suggest you go watch. It's free. Someone has a copy of the narration free on YouTube. So, but man, look at that beautiful flag, 21 touch, and everything looking great. That breaks out 6 out of 10 times beautifully. Friday afternoons, Friday mornings. Fridays are sketchy. So I'm sitting there. What I did is I moved my stop loss like right around here, and when it dumped, I got stopped out right there. I was in such heavy leverage with such big position that, $1,500 at 65 X lev. So, that one move cost me about, one tiny move cost me a tiny bit. Could we bounce? There's a chance. Could the 4-hour hold the 200 moving average? There's still a chance. So we're going to break down the bigger picture. Right off the bat, though, I do see that nasty head and shoulder pattern. Bitcoin had to really recover all the way straight up. The fact that we did not get back above resistance here. And that was resistance, bounce. That was the area you had to flip. And we got a rejection there. Bit of a double bottom now, though, still on the 4-hour time frame, beginning to possibly form. And it's crazy. I may be able to play the same trade I played yesterday, today, and grow the account. This looks like an Adam and Eve. I'll take it. You should wait for us to break above the 200 moving average on the 1-minute time frame. I did not do that yesterday. I broke my rules. I lost 2 trades in a row. But the trade I won paid for both of them and gave me gains. Also, the 1-hour. Lost the 200 moving average. Bear City. Somebody sent in a super chat. Let's see what it says. It's Biscuits. Biscuits said something. He says, for the machine, the 4Ds reign supreme. Can we check out soon USDT? Thank you, brother. God bless you and all the Lifer family. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. May God bless you. Let's take a look at soon, sooner than later. I'm going to start with the jokes early. I'm going to really pull out a fastball on you there. That was a zinger, you know what I mean? Zing! So, Bear City, somebody says, yeah, Bear City. I like how you guys take over my terminology. It's Bear City over here, man. Funny. Me and my twin sister, we still talk, we say the same things. I say things that it reminds me of her, man. Had such a good summer with my family. Despite the loss of my mom and dad, got back with my sisters, had a good summer. You know, the kids were playing together in the pool. We had a blast, man. It was a good time. The Bulls were in charge for what, 2 days? Funny. Hey, Sam, we got an inverted head and shoulder on the 4-hour for USD. It looks like we're going to dump further. Anything is possible, my friends. Anything is possible. That looks like a nasty head and shoulder there. Anyway, let's finish our top-down analysis. But the reason why I'm flipping there is there may be an entry right now. I'm liking this 4-hour bounce off the 200 yet again. In fact, I like it so much because you know why? The risk is so light. I don't have to risk a lot to find out if I can win the trade. So here, I do this a lot. I can turn $100 risk into $700-800. I turned $100 yesterday into $8. Almost, it was $1,400. It's a beautiful trade, really, when you think about it. Like sometimes you'll look at a trade, it may not be the biggest win, but what you pulled off was amazing. Like you may have made the bigger gain with the smaller amount. Like beautiful risk. Like you realize that you wouldn't have lost a lot had it not gone well and you still were able to produce. And those are the trades that let you know that you've got something. Like you're cooking on something. You're starting to work a little harder, starting to grind a little better, starting to keep it a little trimmer. And things starting to feel better when you trade. That's just kind of, I remember when I broke through and trading felt free. Like I just could get in and out and I was okay. I didn't have to freak out so much. Like right here, we just risk like 100 for 6. We get the bounce off the 2, we get it. If we don't, it's a wrap. And we already up. We're up. Even if we take this L, we're up from the 2, the 3, the 4 trades. You see what I'm saying? And that's crazy about a P&L, which is interesting because if we lose this trade, we'd be 1 for 4. But that'd actually be profitable. Isn't that interesting? Because the one I won took care of all 3 wins and some. All 3 losses and some, right? Yeah, so there's 100 for, $5.99. If it starts to bounce and we see some type of something, this could be an inverted head and shoulder when it's all said and done. The 200 moving average of the 4-hour is tough. Now, let's kind of finish our top-down analysis here for Bitcoin. I'm jumping the gun a bit on the show. Hey, we had we had some ups and downs. Something always says strong. We are at, looks like ADA. Yeah. Cardano's been super strong. That's why, too, I always like to go here. Just look. Altura, too. And it's funny, we talked about Altura yesterday. And then it goes up. Hot. MDT Hyperliquid I went over, too. And AERO. Look, my 3 coin. I hold all 3 of these. I hold Altura. I hold AERO. I hold Hyperliquid. Useless keeps kind of hanging out in there too. So you hit this and you should see, look, the top coin should be what? Cardanza. In the last 7 days, up 20%, the Cardanas, right? Give me a pack of Cardanas, kid. Go to the store and buy me 2 Cardanas. 2 packs of Cardanas and a Mountain Dew. Thank you. Give me a pack of matches. So, Cardano, ADA, and even up in the last hour, still fighting the rest of the market. So Cardano, people are sliding into Cardano's DMs right now as we speak, trying to court her, trying to talk to her. She is getting all the love right now. All right. She's shaking that all around town. Cardano. She's the one right now. She is the looker today. She may be the money maker. Let's break it down yet again. Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Heck, we were talking the 2-week, right? The 2-week chart still looking good to me. Still has momentum. I do see some bearish div though. Like we are getting slowed down on the RSI where if we get one more bump, I feel like it's a blow off top for Bitcoin. It's going to be like the moves have been kind of short-lived. They've been more sporadic, and then you get a hot pump, and that's it. Like, less build up than the other sessions, But bang, we get that move up 177, 178,000. That could be the top. Everyone's trying to tell us there's more. I'm open-minded to the $190,000 to $200,000 level. I'm not selling, so it don't matter. I just wanted to keep getting further from where I bought it at, most of it. And that's what's happening. And so over time, Bitcoin, I guess, just takes care of you. That's the key, because you're on the other side of inflation. You're on the other side of what's happening. And they're going to continue to print money because the same fools are going to continue to become politicians. Because it's not like the working class guy that knows what's up is the most likely to become a politician. It's the guy whose dad was in there, or has money, and they're already guided by self-interest. They want the best. Some of them really do. As long as it works for their company as well, though, Very rarely do we have a politician that actually does it because, if his life was at risk, he would still do it. There's more than not, though. I'll be honest, there's still a lot of good patriots there on both sides of the aisle that care, So, yeah, the weekly doesn't look amazing with the wicks, right? We've talked about this, and I wouldn't be a fan if we closed like that. Devil top, right? Devil ears, man. I would call that devil's ears, right? It's a bit odd. Anyway, it would be nicer if this did rip up by Saturday night and we closed higher, cleaned up its act, so to speak. 5-day chart, bearish engulfing, but that's okay. You need that for consolidation in this nose. You just cannot be closing a 5-day candle below 113.8. You do that, something's sick. We're in a bad spot. 3-day channel, same thing. If I lower that, you can't get a 3-day candle below 113. Even to break this trend line, we got to be getting a bounce. If this starts to flush. But I'll be honest, there's some bearish div on the 3-day, which causes concern. That is cause for concern. Your RSI is down, price is up. Again, it's as strong as your previous support as resistance. You do have a resistance wick. You did bounce. You've got support at 112.4. You've got support on the trend line. But those are your last two lines of defense, and we're starting to come and test them, so we can see what could be happening here. The daily, bearish on the stochastics RSI. I said there's more downside. It could easily flip. I've seen it, but just, in general, bearish. Lack of bullish momentum on the MACD. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. Could you handle a dump for Bitcoin? All the way back down here, your altcoins would suffer. It would be, oh my gosh. And it wouldn't be what you were getting told. You were told rate cuts are coming. You were told it's going to pump. You were told it's all going to happen. You were told the biggest alt season of your life will be here by December. Honestly, it would be awesome. I'm open-minded. Who knows? I'll tell you right now, regardless of this high RSI, the moving averages are tight above the 200. And when I've seen that, we've had a bigger move to the upside. So I have more faith we are going to pump. So I don't want to, I guess I'll give you some hopium copium and scare you and then be aware you. So it could go either way. For me, it's just highly important in the next, I'd say 48 hours, that we kind of stay in here. We don't want to be doing any of this stuff down here, bearish retesting. It just starts to paint the picture that you're going lower. Right now, Bitcoin does not look healthy on the smaller time frames. Let's kind of zoom back into where we were, because we saw a head and shoulder that looked like it was about to collapse to the downside here. Looks like I'll be taken out of my trade not too long from now. They're testing the lows here on the 4-hour time frame. If that candle even just closes like that, that's very bearish. And that's a head and shoulder pattern if I've ever seen it. So, again, recently they did this. They made a nasty head and shoulder. And what did they do, right? They flattened the shorts. I do not short Bitcoin until it loses a trend. For instance, Bitcoin would have to lose this level here, come back for the bear. Then I would begin to short. But here, they could easily just stop, hunt you out. It's low volume Friday. It's supposed to dump 68% of the time. See, TA that looks great like this, I'll trade it when there's good liquidity. So yeah, 68% of the time, a head and shoulder is supposed to dump. This is supposed to dump. Like if it dumps today, it is supposed to dump. We're supposed to get, and it's supposed to go somewhere back to about 112.5, 112.2. Like that's where it says it's going. We go to the 1 hour time frame. It has lost the 200 moving average. It's a bearish sign, especially after we kind of had what looks like a Sammy Cup and Handy. This is usually recovery. So they did a really good job faking out the bulls. Made a flag on the 5. Everything started to look good. They really wanted recovery to look nice. Interesting. So right now you can see they got shorts building because they got a head and shoulder, and they got people thinking it's bearish for sure. And then they had any long who went long this morning liquidated right now pretty nicely, If I wasn't in a trade, I probably would have opened that trade and gotten stopped out, Hey, Sam, looking sharp, brother. Can you please tell me if you see a head and shoulder on the 8 hour on SPK? Love you. Let's just kind of jump into that really quick. Shout out to J-Lit TV, SPK, USDT on the 8 hours. Spark. And I was looking for that to stay in a nice consolidation. All right, that was something I wanted to swing trade if it did what it was supposed to do. So you said, is the support on the 2 hour 200 moving average? I mean, for me on the 8 hour, I kind of just see more of this, like separated patterns. Like, I see this falling wedge. I don't know where you see, maybe you're seeing this. That could be. If it makes another right shoulder. You can't predict crypto. Someone ends up being correct. It's purely luck. I just like to short the highs for extra money for alts and big dips. It's exactly a good plan. So here we are. We see a head and shoulder pattern on Bitcoin. And it's crazy because and you go back 2 hours, you're here. This breaks out. This is gone, right? And you've got a pump to the upside. And then you rip up here through the gap of the VRVP. You see what I'm saying? It's just so fascinating to me how an hour and a half, 40 minutes, because that's one candle, and the second one isn't even closed yet, 8 minutes, but in an hour and 50 minutes, everything could change. Everything is cooked. I didn't put out a lot of altcoins last night, and I had weekly screens here, and I just said, I don't know. It was a little sketchy. Like I wasn't going to pump out altcoins. Look, they did it here, though. Shoulder, head. I mean, that was a nasty head and shoulder. They ripped those shorts a new one. They ripped those shorts a new one. So it's interesting. I like to grab that and play with that idea. That's going to be the bars pattern, I believe. Like, voila. And then they make this inverted head and shoulder and take us to Valhalla. Rip us through that gap in the VRVP. Right now, I say no way. Right now, it says bear. And that's why my strategy kind of ranks true. You lost the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. 15-minute rolled over. You were supposed to flag out and bag out. Now you're looking for this. Once this breaks, you're making a lower high. So right now I'm looking for the head and shoulder to break to this target. That's all I got going on. Like that's what I got cooking right now. Maybe they dip it a little bit, rip it back up. I don't know what they're going to do. I know what to do when they do it though. 5 minute would reclaim the 200 moving average. 1 minute would have to reclaim the 200. I would not get into any single trade. MACD, look at a turn. No real bullish div on the RSI. Slightly right there, attempting, but very small. A head and shoulder pattern there on the 1 minute. You can see it. Shoulder, head, shoulder, multiple shoulders. Ugly. 116, 117.16. So I guess I got to call more downside here for Bitcoin. Flattening anybody who jumped into the late pump there to a new all-time high. So they get you excited. They make a new all-time high. They get the Google searches cooking, and they cook you. It's crazy. This has been an ongoing game over and over again recently. Time and time again. Bitcoin dominance on the move. It looks ready to start rallying again. Well, Bitcoin dominance rallies for two reasons. One reason is people want to jump out of altcoins to hold because they don't want to take as big of a hit because they see the market going down. So they sell off all their altcoins, you see? And they sell off into what? Into Bitcoin, which raises Bitcoin dominance. So what happens is Bitcoin dominance raises with Tether dominance. So you never really want to look at Bitcoin dominance alone. You always want to look at Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance together. So we're looking for this to kind of bear flag, right? And continue down. Altcoins could show us what's up. And maybe we could. It could be a you were scared moment here. They're just trying to really shake out these shorts. But I mean, I do see how it could end up being a bit of a shoulder, kind of a funky head and a right shoulder. Bitcoin dominance comes back with a vengeance. Once you get back above 59.9, we're going to have to start thinking that there's going to be a bit of a squeeze. And now the bot decides it's time to get into a long. Let's take a look. Summer hotties, that's funny. So the bot decides that's a bottom buy right there and snipes the bottom. It found a divergence of some type. It found a weak point in the armor of the algo and felt like that was a good positional strength area to jump on in. The bot snipes the bottom. I'm still in the trade. Very close to getting stopped, but basically right there. Oh my goodness, look at that. They flushed the 200 moving average even on the 4. It's so close for me. Yeah, they're likely going to come for me, but you never know. Oof. And no divergence strong enough. A little bit there now. It's slight now. You got like somewhat of an uptrend on the RSI. And you got a downtrend here, but they'll likely wick me out and then pump the price, right? I just conveniently found their low point. Unless I got right, I'm just a little lower than the lower guy. Sometimes you're lower than everybody else and they don't get you. It depends. Like this could have been the liquidation wick right there. They just can't get any lower than that. Like there's just not enough money there to get below. You never know. My life is a game of inches, a game of precise timing, and just such small sequences of events, right? Like, just look at this. Like, we are all moving through at the speed of light in the universe's energy formed inside some type of skeleton carcass here. Isn't that weird? I mean, you're inside. Look, they did. Now they'll bounce it and pump it, right? Now they'll pump it. Usually what happens, right? It'll go all the way. I mean, you feel like you were the one. Like, it was me. Like, they went after me. It was just me. They knew I was right there. Like, then they ripped it. Bullish divvy to the upside. I mean, there is a bottom. The bot bought the bottom, right? Gonna join the trading group soon. Can't wait to be a part of something different and special. I can check you out. Can you check out PAAL AI? We'll take a look at PAAL AI. So they got me, man. I can't believe it. Just like yesterday, they played with the 200 moving average of the 4-hour time frame. If they close below it, then it's no go. If they get back above it, then I'd have to possibly long yet again. Finally, some bullish divvy on the 1 minute that could actually give us a bit of a bounce. It's stronger than it was before. Not amazing, though. Yeah, we'll take a look at BOOKMAP in a second and see what BOOKMAP is showing. So again, you're looking for a reversal just like yesterday. This is like the exact same day, right? Looking for the reversal on the 1 hour time frame. Inverted head and shoulder. Back to the 200 moving average. Like every single asset in the world moves like this. I don't know if it's an algorithm that I figured. This is just this is what they do. If you're bullish, you'll get above the 200. The 21 will come. You'll make a flag. You'll bump. It's very simple. If you're bearish, you'll slump over, make some type of descending triangle, and continue down. We watch the same thing every single day, every single morning, Monday through Friday, even Saturday. It's just consistently the same. We're looking for an inverted head and shoulder to stop the pain here on the 5-minute time frame. I'm going along on the 2 hour 200 MA on BTC. Let me take a look at that. I see what you're saying. You're using that. Hey, that might be a good, that looks good, but you know, you're defying that head and you're going for that squeeze, that they're going to squeeze those puppies, right? I mean, technically, we're just still inside a flag, right? We could bounce nicely here. The falling wedge that broke back inside. Every single time they dump, they pump. Every single time they pump, they dump. So they just dumped. I would expect to pump. It's funny, right? But that's you can't trade on that. There's no like data given probability that I've sat and produced, so you can't trade on that. That would ruin your data set if you started doing things erratically based off of nothing. You know, then you see, I learned that I have to stay inside the parameters of math. And if I do, I'll be okay. If I leave it, I won't be okay anymore. So the proper risk management will take care of me if I stay to it. But if I decide to just kind of willy-nilly, even a couple times, once in a blue moon, you could maybe get away with it. And even then, it could be really devastating. I can tell you, I've been great for months and then did one thing out of character to my system and ruined weeks of work. Like, you've got to stay inside the pocket. I'm telling you, you do. And think about it, a successful person is merely someone who made more mistakes than anybody else in a narrow field. That's it. An expert is someone that made every mistake in a narrow field. They just look smart because they've failed more than everybody else. Yeah. I've been here for 15 years on and off trading. Throughout my career, trading all different types of assets, touching that buy button, finding out a way to win, and taking losses too, and getting back up. And, you know, I took a loss. Like, I remember losing 14 grand in the market on a stock I just kept DCing into for months at an end. And if I had given up on investing at that time because I took that L, I never would have gotten into Bitcoin and changed my life. So you may be where I was right there, taking the biggest L of your life. You may be down 30%. Your whole portfolio may be slaughtered. Hey, I was there, man. I was down. I was worth 40 grand and I was down 15. And I'd saved so much money to put into the market and I had lost it all. Like, I had lost a third of my savings thinking I was going to get out of the rat race. I put myself deeper in. I had less money. I was more depressed. My mind was like, I was really devastated. I believe I was 28 at the time. It was 14 years have gone by. So much time has passed. COVID happened, all that stuff happened. I moved to Boston out of New York City. We kept the stream going, and the stream just ended up changing my life. I ended up doing the YouTube thing for the rest of I just can't believe it. God bless everybody that shows up. So sorry about the power outage this morning and the jumping around with the links. I greatly apologize for that. Really, but hey, I got to focus on the positivity, and there's awesome people here right now who want to learn and are really full of love. So thank you. And so right now it's looking bearish. Just trade simple. Head and shoulders says we break to the downside. The scary thing is it is a very nasty target. The target's not small. The target's like 110, possibly 108. So then you got to talk. Is this the end of the bear market, the bull market? Like, are we going to get a bigger pullback? Is this it? When we looked at that triangle, we got the breakout, it came back for us. How bearish is this? Let's talk about it. First thing we want to do is just break down the trend. You're high, you're low, you're higher high, you're higher low, you're higher high, you're higher low, you're barely higher high, but a higher high. If you take out the low here at 112,000, then we'd have to start thinking that we're making some type of downtrend. You take that low out, unless we make some type of inverted head and shoulder, which, I mean, maybe it's a longer consolidation. We get that rate cut, boom. It's been an insane year. I don't want to make crazy calls that I can't back up, but I do. I see bearish div on the daily. When's the last time we saw bearish div on the daily that strong? Right about here. That was slight bearish div there too. A nasty pullback to a 618er. 618er. Right there to a 107, 108. So we could be seeing a move back somewhere down to 108,000. And we definitely could see this area touched. It's possible for me. Sad thing is, we wouldn't get like the parabolic break, right? It would have to turn. I don't know what it would turn, but you know, and the rising wedge would break down, which is 68% of the time likely. This is on the table, folks. I just want to, you know, I'm not trying to be over bearish, and I know I'm big, but you're bullish, you're bearish. I'm just showing you what we see. Had we jumped and started to kind of consolidate, then we'd still be in, you know, so today is just looking a little sketchy. But again, you know, the reddest times have made me money, so I've bought into the red. But yeah, I'm coping with what I'm seeing too, right? Things have changed since last night. I just had to take profits on a trade that I wanted to see cooked to $6,000. But it, you know, again, always for that big win, the small wins compound over time. People that chase the big wins usually get bigger losses. It just is what it is. Trading in the zone too. He talks about how smaller trades add up over time. Like I'm likely not going to trade because we had a really good trading week. I nailed it. We hit BitConnect multiple times. A lot of gains this week. It was great. The losses were small. The wins were bigger. And so I'm not going to chew my account up on a Friday, on a low volume Friday. Not a smart move. That's not going to be a good look, right? You're sounding a little sad, Sam. It's going to be okay. Don't worry, man. This is all, it's for your entertainment purposes only, man. You got to go low and go high. I gotcha. You'll be okay. Don't worry. Do you need a tissue? Are you crying? So, moving forward, head and shoulder pattern. Right now, target is 110,000. That's the target. That's the measured move. That's it. That's just the measured move. That's what it says could happen. Can we get the bounce? Anything is possible. Are we getting it? No. Does it look like we're dumping? Yes. Is it going lower? Yes. Wow, we just had a crazy liquidation wick. Look at that. 116.9. And these are great prices for Bitcoin. Now we are starting to get a bullish divvy, though. But when you're really bearish, bullish divergence just don't K. Dang, man. Still, though, if you think about it, like what pattern is it forming more than likely? Really starting to see a head and shoulder here. Wouldn't be surprised if this is the daily bottom off a bullish div. Defy the odds, you know. We'll see. I wouldn't make the trade, but I'll watch it. If it makes an inverted head and shoulder and the 1 minute did crack the 200 moving average and we made a flag up here tonight, I'd trade it later tonight. But that's the only thing I would be traded. So right now, no live trades at a Friday, low volume. Not my favorite day to trade. Sad to say. I wish every day to be, you know, favorite day to teach, though. They're still learning. We're watching this. We watch this reversal. This will be pretty hot. Trying to see how we can figure out like where it's going the other way. Besides the bigger time frame there, the 1 hour. strange prices, like just Chop City too. And we made gains. Think about it. We bought here and we sold up. We bought here on the live, right up this one, and I sold right there. Pretty great trade. My current target is a trend line at 115,005. Someone said it seems like it needed to finish the CME gap. Yeah, you know, like really fill it up there, but now it's even lower. And honestly, it could just CME gap or not. I mean, head and shoulder, right? Anything is possible, folks. One step, one day at a time. But it's starting to dump pretty nicely here. And again, there ain't no shame in shorting it right now with the stop on the other side. Even a 112, it's barely a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio, so the stop has to be slid as we start to get some gains too. But right now, the odds are telling us that this is going to pay us more than anything else. Shorting the market. That's what it's telling us. We go from there, but it's saying bearish times. Check out Total 3, 4 hour. We going down a bit more. Yeah, glad to hear you on a lot, man. It's scary out here. You're funny. It's a slanted semi coming handy on the 8 to 1 hour. And again, good time to buy BTC. You buy the bearish times, right? Can't buy the bullish times. Can't overbuy when Bitcoin's down, you know, up and pumping. So you got to buy the red. What else can we do? So again, we buy a little more BTC every time it's down. There's really no other choice. Every time it's a red day, I buy more. I can't buy the green days, and I'm always going to remember these times 10 years, 20 years from now. I'm going to say these were some of the best chances to buy Bitcoin ever in the history of life. So we buy more BTC. We stack Bitcoin here on the channel. Every time there's a nasty red day, I buy more Bitcoin. Do you get it? I've trained my brain to be that way. Blood in the streets, Tyler, exactly. Every single time it's my own blood, especially if it's your own. Don't panic, it's organic. Amen. Can you check out PAAL, Papa? We'll take a look at PAAL AI. We're going to look at all the super chats sent my way here at 11:11 in the morning. The coolest thing about my strategy is if we bounce today and we get above the 200 moving average, the lifers and me will take we'll probably be able to make a bunch of gains. We know exactly how to trade a reversal if they give us one. It's an amazing strategy that I taught people all around the world. So awesome. I freed people from their emotions. They can now trade with a system, with a plan. And if you want more, jump into the Lifer Vision trading course. I teach the course right there the last Saturday of every month. Jump on in today to find out more. You'll love it. It'll blow your mind. All right? That's where I give you my 9-step checklist before I get into a trade. You get a PowerPoint. You get it all right there. It's unbelievable. For 152, I give it less than anybody else in the entire space. Everyone else is gouging 3,000, this and that. I just want to see you win. $150, invest in yourself. Get yourself an education. I'm here every single month doing it the last Saturday of every month. I'll do it in August. I did it while I was traveling. I did it in the summer. And I can't wait to see you there. Let's go. 100,000 subscribers. MKX. Yeah, I was looking at MYX. It's the only thing to me that looked pretty hot. Wow, it did zoom, huh? You know, and it came back inside its own pattern. And it was hot. It went sideways for a while, dipped. Hey, does it go to 393? I don't own any of this thing, so it doesn't matter to me. But just looking here, it looks interesting. MYX. If you're with me, you love this track that's coming up right now. This track just bangs. Music is life, man. The movement, the energy. You got to be in love with the constant movement because life is always moving. Even when you're asleep, your subconscious mind begins to fly. You're never asleep. Even when you're asleep, your mind is moving. God gave us a subconscious brain that never ends. Isn't it crazy? We're never off. And that's why you think, when does life end? Life never ends because because life can't end because you're always connected to the ethereal space and time. The scariest thing about it is you all know that you're not you. You're a bigger energy form just in you for a while. But you want to keep on you forever, but you're not ever going to be you forever. You're going to be that bigger form. When you go back, you're not the thing you want to be now. And that's what hurts as humans. I went there. I soared out of my body one time. I don't want to scare you. And I was there. And I felt more comfortable there than I'd ever been. I knew this was the waiting room at the doctor's office. It was so strange. And I said, wow, and I was me. I could feel like the essence of me, like that voice in your head that you feel is you. But I had no body, and I knew I was part of everything in space and time, like I was everything at once. And I realized that's where I always was. And I felt more comfortable there than here. This felt like, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop now and get into something else, but that's just another time. Well, man, people are like philosophizing. I'm telling you what it is. Right? The music will pump BTC. There's appointments left in class. You'll be okay. Hit the link and sign up. Yeah. You'll make it, don't worry. Nice little spike in price action there to give us a bit of a bottom here on the 1 minute time frame. Can we start to dig out of this hole slowly like we did yesterday? Same kind of slow dig out. They keep digging for the liquidity. They're trying to gouge out. I'll just buy more Bitcoin and happily sail away into the sunset in 10 years. I don't stress the small time frame mumbo jumbo. Thank God I've had so much patience in my life. See, if you express patience over time, you eventually get out of the rat race because everyone else is less patient than you. When you're more patient than most people, you can wait longer than them for the win. They can't, so they usually lose. And then you kind of keep producing that behavior. That becomes habitual. And through that movement, you change the way you change your life forever. Again, success is not something you chase. It's what you become after doing the same thing over and over again, right? Everyone wants something to change in their life. They don't change their habits, though. They don't realize their habits create their life. Your actions are everything. The more you take action, the more you'll move. The more you move, the more you'll be rewarded for that movement. Simple. If you stay put in the same, and that goes for everything, conceptually, physically. Like if you're at a job and you've been at that same job for 20 years and it's the same thing and it's just punch it in something and you've never progressed your brain and you've never allowed yourself to grow into anything. I mean, what is that? What kind of life is that? Challenge yourself to see how far you could take your own ideas. Flourish inside of your mind. Begin to build. You're a creative being with so much to give. And you have such a big, bright future ahead of you. And once you gain and harness it, it's kind of like riding a horse that no one can ride, right? Once you get on it, it feels like you can, the first ride, you're never going to ride that thing, right? Months later, you're riding that horse and you're like, wow, I remember the days when I felt like this was going to be impossible. But now it's not impossible because I have skills that I didn't have before. The horse understands me in ways it didn't. The horse learned, I learned, we progressed together. Very similar to trading. You're going to get on that trading horse and get thrown off a few times. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be a learning curve. But there's going to be days, if you keep going, that you're going to look back and say, man, I can't believe what I just pulled off. I can't believe what I just did compared to what I used to do. Yes, today is pretty volatile. And I had to resort to using the 30-second chart. I use the 30-second and the 5-second when we have heavy volatility. We really need to get to brass tacks and find out what's happening. We cut into the red tape here and we grind on into the 30-second chart. The 30-second chart has to do what all the other charts have to do. The moving averages have to conjoin and get tight. We have to make higher lows. And we have to make a flag with the 21 near or interacting. And we have to break up with movement and volume. And we have to crack through the 200 moving average. Once we break the 200 on the 30-second, all can begin again for a move back to the upside. That's when we can get a move on the 1 minute, the 3, the 5, the 7, the 15, and that's when the 4-hour really is. That's what's happening inside of the 4-hour candle as it's reversing off the 200 moving average. This is the whole internal movement. Look at that spike to 116.88. And wow. And now they're back already at 117.5. I mean, the volatility is insanity. Look at this, a big pump. And you can see it on the 1 minute now, pumping to the upside out what looks like an ascending triangle. How did I figure this out? How did I know how to do this? Where did this all come from? I'll be honest, I'm out of my mind. Okay? Late at night, when people went to bed, I'd be alone. And one day I said, what does the 5 minute look like? When I was trading like the 15. And I played with the 5 minute and I did all sorts of weird leverage stuff, but I experimented and I demo traded it. And then one day I was like, well, what about the 1 minute? And then you guys have seen me on the 1 minute. I mean, it's where I live really. On the channel, we're on the 1 minute. I'd say 80% of the time. It's pretty crazy, right? And then I decided, well, if the 1 minute can take the same properties from the 5, which takes the same properties from the 15, which takes the same properties from the 1 and the 3 and the 2 and the daily, then I can eventually build a progression of entry through the smaller time frames. And my subconscious mind began to grind. And again, instead of being at work and doing what other people told me to do, I began to learn inside my mind. I began to live inside my brain all the time, building. And I read books on Tesla, and I thought about all the builders and the inventors, and I began to sit inside my brain and invent these ways to trade. And I started to soar through my creative energies. And I was creative. I was already writing songs. I was already playing 3 different instruments. I could pick up whatever. I knew I had it in me. I just had to apply myself and get focused. That's you. I see you out there. There's someone out there right now watching my channel, a little lost. You know, their friends and family laugh at them a little bit. But they got something every once in a while that everyone else around them knows they got, that they don't have. And they see it in them. And they're like, man, that guy's... And you're close. Could be a girl too, a guy or girl on the channel. And you're really close to honing in on that. And nobody knows it. And the thing is, it's such a strong energy that sometimes you look kind of stupid. And because you don't know how to handle that energy. And it comes out the wrong way. And it frustrates you. Because you're meant for something pretty dang big. And you don't know that just yet. You do though. Like you do. Your instincts know. But you don't know how it's going to happen. So you're struggling right now because you're not understood by the world. You're not even understood by yourself, but you know there's something calling you. I don't know what it is, and that's the crypto lifer. Like that's why everyone here is a little different than the rest of the world. We're a niche group of people here. You have to understand how small this 1,500 group here. Like this is very different, the group you're in right now. You're someone who really likes to learn more than most people. So like when everyone else wants to go out and drink and hang out, like you'll sit and read. You'll watch a documentary about, the Eagles in Alaska, and you'll love every bit of it. You like to learn. You're someone that really, really goes after knowledge, right? And again, everyone likes knowledge, but there's a certain part of the human race that likes knowledge a little more, just like there's a certain part of the human race that likes nachos a little more, that likes football a little more. So you're now with a group of people that just likes knowledge a little more than everybody else. You just really, really it gets you an adrenaline rush high to read about history, adrenaline rush high to grind about technical, that differentiates you from a lot of people in the world. That's why you connect with me so well. That's why this stream has what it has. Okay. And it's very rare. It's not every day. This is a very small niche, rare group of people that we've collected through the internet. You have to understand. They're watching us. They're like, who are these crypto lifers that have formatted through this frequency? Man, we don't get the, we were getting a love. It was looking pretty nice on that 30 second. And then look, head and shouldered it. But that's why I love watching the smaller time frames. Like they're going to just teach you, hey, if you can't build here, then you're done. You're cooked. You cooked over here, kid. Hey, kid, you cooked. You're more cooked than you've ever been. Got to get back above that 200 moving average if you want any type of love here. And these are nasty low volume Fridays after massive liquidations this week, ups and downs. PPI came in. It was just a complete mess, right? My goodness. Let's take a look at what's happening for the week ahead. This week, oh my goodness. What a week. Oh, and they even had, let's say, core retail sales came in. They were exactly what they should have been. And then core retail sales month over month, we're lower, which is bearish. Empire State Manufacturing Index forecasted -2. They're 11.9. So forecast is way off too. Import prices, okay. Industrial premium consumer sentiment down. Inflation expectations. President Trump speaks tentatively today, somewhere after 4 or 5 p.m. I did say it's funny, right? Every time something goes on, man. So Bitcoin, nice little bounce here. Oh no, maybe not because no. Price action switches on you. So I'm more bearish than bullish that head and shoulder on the 1 hour is going to take us down. And it doesn't look good to me. I mean, it was all this crazy consolidation. But I did what I was supposed to do. I bought the red. See, I don't know what's going to happen. See, my emotions could be crazy. I could be like, man, we're going to dump. It doesn't look good. But I'm trained to buy the red. So I'll just buy red and not think about it. Come back 5 years later, be like, oh yeah, those red buys were good. And we go from there. And I'm willing to handle whatever I do. Whatever decision I make, I'm willing to handle it. Whether it's right or wrong. At least I made a decision. At least I went for something. At least I did something. I remember the days I sat there and did nothing. I got nothing out of that. You know? At least when I lose, I learn something from the loss. At least I gain pain, and pain builds me. And you know, I think about all my days. I worked a night shift for 6-7 years. I don't think people realize, from age of 30 to 36, about 6 years. And I got in at 7, 8 in the night, and I left it about between 1 and 3 in the morning, depending on how much work we had and how well I did it. And sometimes I left at 4 or 5 in the morning. Sometimes it was longer than that. It depended on the night. Sometimes I made mistakes and had to clean up after myself, and then was more tired and did it slower, and then eventually just realized I was going to be in for a long night. Those other days where everything went perfect and I nailed everything. I used every machine in the place and I nailed it, and it just worked. And I was out in 3-4 hours. And that happened about 60% of the time, maybe 40, maybe about 55. But the point of the story was, you know, I always dreamed of a different life. I was 35 years old. I was coming into work at night. Everyone was leaving. And there was this fire escape in between all these buildings in New York City on the 19th floor, on 19th and 5th. And I'd be sitting on that fire escape, like underneath all these giant HVAC things, and I could see parts of the other cities of the Empire State Building and the twinkles of the lights, and I could hear the people and the street lights. And some nights it was cold and some days it was cool. And I would sit and wonder, like, where am I going to go with my life? I had a child. She was a year old. We were in a 1-bedroom apartment. She didn't have a lawn to play on. I said, man, I had a lawn to play on when I grew up. My dad grew up in at least like a residential town. I said, I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment off of Queens Boulevard. Like, when am I going to get out of this? So when everybody sees me here with the YouTube channel, running my mouth with the suit on and all that, just know, like, I went through as much pain as you did, or as you are, or as anyone it could be. I got to my bank account till I owed money. So I was negative. I was below, you know. I was below. Like, I had nothing to my name. Like, if I died at that moment, I would have died with debt. I've been there, man. I've been there. And if I can get out, you can get out. If the ADHD kid that everyone said was depressed and bipolar, and, you know, they try to pump me with drugs and the pharmaceuticals, everything, man. Just like they do to everybody who's lost in the sauce. If you're not going to pick yourself up, someone's going to drain you, man. Some industry is going to take you for a ride. Whether it's, you know, therapy, whatever it is, someone's going to use and abuse you if you don't pick up yourself and start to learn and start to work, you know. I realized that I couldn't be a leaf on a stream anymore, and it was time to grind. I began working out every day, changed the function of my brain, changed the way my brain worked. I began thinking, you know what? I could do things with my life I never thought possible. I began listening to motivational speeches. I got a mentor online that I never met, Jim Rohn. I gravitated towards people that I could tell had intelligence and were doing things with their lives. I got away from the alcohol. I got away from the drugs. I tried to hang out with people. I did hang out with people that had a positive influence on me. The more I did it, the better I felt. The better I felt, the more I did it. And the more I was able to change my life and on a bigger scale, not just with trading, with how I interacted with my family, my friends, how I looked at the world, how I looked at every situation that came upon me, how I turned every single nasty moment into some type of learning experience and into something that I could use to bounce myself back from, something I could do to find a way to be stronger. Every obstacle was just a way to become stronger. It wasn't something in the way to stop me. It was in the way to help me. I shifted my mindset to why did God do this to me? To why did God do this for me? And I've said all these things, I think, together collectively on this channel, but I like to bring it all together, especially on Fridays towards the end of the week, especially when it's looking nasty. Because whatever happens to Bitcoin, whether it plows to 200,000 or it goes back down to 80K and revisits or whatever it happens, if you believe in yourself, if you work hard every day, if you live in the moment, if you take a deep breath, it's not going to matter because you're the opportunity and you're going to win no matter what. So you just got to keep trucking and keep pushing. That's all. There's no other option. There's nobody to cry to, and there's nobody to hold your hand, and nobody cares about your tears, man. I know it's hard to say, and I know it's not the best thing to say to everybody, but it was the best thing that I needed to hear when I was down and out because nobody cared, Sam. It was time to grind, brother. It was time to finally say that it was my boss, my nasty boss that made me upset. That's why I got drunk last night and then broke my face on the concrete. Whatever the reasons are we make for what happens to us, I got in a bar fight because my boss was, nasty to me, and I went out and got drunk, and then and that's why I have a court case now, because my boss. It's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. You know what I'm saying? And we've always heard that parent too. It's always everybody else's fault, isn't it? So anyway, looking at Bitcoin, it's looking pretty lackluster. Attempting to double bottom off of 117K though. Putting in a lot of work to put in at this level. Saying, you know what, it's and we may still get the move above the 1 minute 200, and you never know. That's looking like a double bottom now. So again, we're working here again to find the bottom of the day. I mean, this has been all week. I like to come here when we're up, we're bumping, we're making a flag, and I say I'm in the flag, and that's it. No, every day's been hard. Every day has been hard. They've dumped it, they've grabbed the liquidity, looking at who's going to buy, what's happening. And we fought through it all, caught the red tape, and trade the model. We get above that 200, the 21 catches, that's my model. They can't blind me. If you know the algo better than them, then they can't even manipulate you when they manipulate themselves. He says, regardless, I always keep a 9 to 5. Bills will get paid. Last time I felt this 14 years ago, I started just looking in the mirror. Then I would go from there. We have no control what happens in life. All we have control is what we do with it and how we respond 100%. Boring consistency will slowly get you to your goals. Success shows up when you least expect it. He's actually correct. I remember just doing this live every single day. I remember wearing the suit. I remember trading live. I remember going over my strategies. I can't tell you the day that I looked back on my life and realized that I could probably do this for the rest of my life, or that I'd made such life-changing wealth that you know what I mean? If you ain't dying, you're funny. Anticipate the manipulation. Love y'all, the best is yet to come. And lifer, you're shining a mirror straight at me with your euphemisms. Yeah, I know I am. Because I know the struggle and I know we're all the same. We're not that much different, man. We're 99% the same. We've all felt doubt and thought we were horrible. We've all said something to somebody and they've said something back and we felt like we were less than nothing. We've all done something in anger. that we wish we never did, and it hurt our feelings so bad and the person we did it to. We've all done these things. Nobody is away from this stuff, man. Nobody's free of sin, man, and of pain and of doing the wrong thing. It's about learning from it each time and becoming better every time we do it and saying, hey, I'm human, but I will work on this and I'll become better every time, right? With trading, people beat themselves up. They get into a rut. They lose a trade. They start telling themselves they're a shitty person. Excuse my language, a horrible person. They start breaking it down. But I use that language because that's how people talk to themselves. I don't want to use profanity on the channel, but that's what people say. You know what I'm saying? And they start, they get into a low frequency behavior. And next thing you know, it's hard to win a trade. It's hard to believe in yourself. How can you win trades when you think you suck? That's really hard. I've been there so many times in trading. It's gotten into my head. It's told me that I'm worthless. Sometimes I've had everything going well in my life, but I've lost trades and I feel like a loser. It's so weird. And I got to look at the perspective, take a big breath and say, man, life is so much more than that one trade that you just made today. But it gets to you, doesn't it? You want to show your wife your wins. You want to show your friends you did it. You want to, I'm going to tell my mom and dad, I'm going to show everybody I won. I remember I couldn't wait to show my dad my gains. Look, Dad, I did it. He didn't care. My mom didn't care like I thought they did. They just wanted me to be happy. They were trying to ask, why are you chasing gains so much? And I said, because that's like what I love. Like just like people like Ken Griffey Jr. and their baseball players. I like Mike Novogratz. I thought he's cool. Like people are like, oh no, you like Mike Novogratz? Oh, Sammy, But again, the billionaire trader on Wall Street that gets interviewed. I was like, that's the dude right there. So I remember when I first saw Mike Novogratz, that's kind of when I decided I was like, I'm going to be a trader. They're going to interview me on on some news station one day, and I'm going to talk about trading. Possible head and shoulder here, getting tighter too. This could be that we're not getting the reversal. The small time frame does not want to give it up. If we were hot by now, we would have crossed the 200 moving average. We've done it many times on the channel, and the short squeeze begins to come at us. I'm in charge of his in a massive corp. People are miserable at any pay grade. If you get lucky and get a ton of money, you still got to work out what's holding you back. 100%. I like what he said. You still got to work out. Yeah, you're still on this. Everyone's on like a destiny trajectory. And whether you get money or not, that's great. It adds to it. It's cool. It's fun. You can do some fun stuff. It definitely adds tools. You can get a mentor. You can take more time. It gives you some more time. It gives you clarity. Money can give you clarity because it can. Look, when you're working a night shift like I used to for $1,800 or for, like $900 a week, I was at one point. It was crazy. Hustling my butt off. No health insurance. And you don't know where, and it's not really that secure too, but you've put in a lot of work. It's not the best. But you start your own business and you're your own person and your grind is everything and you just keep grinding. That's a lot better, isn't it? It puts you're in control. So you can be a leaf on a stream or you can be the stream that pushes all the leaves. It depends on who you want to be. I'll tell you what, it's a harder life to be the producer, like the CEO, the creator, There's more demanding for sure, but it's also freer because you have less parameters. So if you're someone that doesn't like to be told what to do and you don't want a boss, you got to work really hard to nip a boss, to take the boss out of your life. It's a very hard work. It's like the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life is to kick your boss out of your life. But once the boss is gone, they're gone forever. It's not like it's a temporary solution. It's over. BOOKMAP is showing that there's just more liquidity to the downside than to the upside right now. But it's still pretty close. But it does say 116,000 is the answer. Again, no guarantees. I like this double bottom here right now. And 117 has been strong. We just bought the dip for Bitcoin. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at all these awesome super chats coming in. We have XRP soon, XNA, SPK, POPCAT, and PAAL AI. I think we did look at SPK already, but we'll take a look at it again if needed. My X is the hottest thing I've seen right now. I don't know what's going on. It can easily dump to the downside, but it's consolidating and getting tight. I don't own any. Doesn't even matter to me. I'm just showing you a flag. You take with that what you will. Wow, XRP. We were bullish on XRP, but it lost the trend line and then made a little... To me, that's bearish. I wanted to see it stay there and consolidate. And so we even had this for the consolidation. It consolidated nicely. Fell out of the pattern. Now it's doing a bearish retest. That's bearish. If Bitcoin takes a dump, XRP is going to dump too. I mean, that thing could go to 227. Heck, your first stop, though, is 290. And then it's 275. It looks a little bearish to me. Slanted shoulder. Head right shoulder there. I don't know. That looks ugly. Not in love with that right now, for sure. I hope it just reverses back inside the pattern and this is some type of fake out here. I don't know, but that doesn't look good to me. Again, it could change tomorrow. We never know. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it doesn't look amazing. That's all. I'm not here to be, everyone's like, tomorrow I'll come back. Everyone's like, you were so bearish. Yeah. And I'm like, I sold my whole portfolio because of you and everything pumped. You suck. I'm not telling you it's doomsday. I'm just saying, hey, man, shoulder, head, right shoulder, 68% of the time that's going to dump. That target takes you to 275 and Bitcoin doesn't look amazing. I don't make the rules here. I just show you what's happening. I'm one of those that can't make a good trade. It sucks. But one thing I have is I don't give up. So now only I use like 20 to control the losses and keep going. I lift up if I lose again. I mean, yeah, you just got to keep going. I would demo trade, man, until you really get a better hang of it, though. Why even lose the 20? But I'm with you on it. I'm the same. I just kept going. Quitters never win and winners never quit. Shout out to BoomFat. Never, baby, never. And never means till the end of time, till you stop breathing, till it never ends. And it's a scary thing. Have you ever sat and thought about life? If you die and it keeps going, it's almost scary because what do you mean? There's no end? Yeah, you turn into another form and do another form, and that consciousness, you keep knowing who you are. And you know all the stuff you've been through, and it just keeps going and going and going, and you keep being like, but when does it end? It never does. Isn't it kind of scary to think it never ends? But then when you think it ends, you get scared too because you don't want it to end. If it ends, then you're done forever. And you die when you die. I don't know if you ever sat in bed before you go to bed and thought, well, if it ends forever, that sucks. So the other opportunity is that it never ends. And that's also kind of like, what do you mean it's never going to end? I've sat in my mind one day and said, well, it's never going to end. And it's gave me an anxiety attack to the point where I've almost like hyperventilated. Because I'm like, I want to get off the treadmill at one point. And I'm like, but it never ends. And my mind starts to race, and it's like, that is the only panic attack I ever have in my life. It's happened to me 4 or 5 times. I'll sit alone, and I'll be like, but it's never going to end. And I go, oh, my God. And for a split second, I understand eternity, like what it could be. Like my mind just understands nothing ends. And my mind's like, I can't, I have like a mental breakdown. Like I can't comprehend, and I go into like, and I'm just like, whoa. Super chat soon. I'm not scared, though. I don't live in fear. I don't, but sometimes my brain, I think, just tries to understand it all and it can't. And then it has like a breakdown. You're so right, Sam. Committed to being self-employed after 20 years corporate was the most difficult and necessary, but the best move I've ever made. Spirit matters. Yeah, just being on your own energy is unbelievable. There's nothing better than going on your own grind. Shout out to Arthur Crypto. God bless you. And shout out to the big turnout tonight. I thought we were going to have a really small turnout because of all the nonsense I had this morning. I stayed true to God. I submit to God, and God, thank you, dear Lord. You brought so many beautiful people to the stream, and it's been one of the best streams I've ever had. Thank you so much, everyone. I am a little preachy. It's Friday. Market's a little slower. If there was price action pumping and running, we'd be all over it. That's all I'd be talking about. But, right now we're kind of in a symmetrical here that could go either way, and it does look like it's going to take a dump to the downside, back to 116, 150. And that's also the target we got sitting for BOOKMAP. So we are always here. Sammy, we haven't retested the bull pennant yet on the 3-day chart for Bitcoin. Looks like it may be a level to watch. Thank you for saying that. I demo traded for 3 years straight, taught me nothing. Well, then you're someone that can't extrapolate data from inside of data. So you're not autodidactic, I guess. I don't want to put you down. I shouldn't put you down because you're someone that obviously struggles, but man. Well, hey, I can learn something from watching an ant. So I really can. I can literally get on the ground, watch an ant for 20 minutes, and I'm sure I'll learn something. I'll have epiphany. Something will happen. So, hey, and you're telling me you couldn't learn anything 3 years of demoing? Your reticular activator listens to your words and looks for images to confirm your words. Be positive about you 100%. Thank you for saying that. Speak positively to yourself all the time. You're your own cheerleader and must be. Looks like Bitcoin's going to dump. If I had to make a call, we're dumping. The Bears are in control right now, not the Bulls. Appreciate the insights and the stories during the weekly screen share last night. Being in the 9 is the best. Hope you and the family have a great weekend. God bless you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to give you guys some insights of like how I got where I'm at and how it all happened. Because with all that, what's the point, right? Like, why would you even want to listen to somebody or have a mentor? Mentor's supposed to break it down, make you feel like you know my life, I know your life. Bitcoin with the dumpage. I've been seeing these half head and shoulders where like you just kind of have a half a thing and it just... It looks like we're going down $116,109 for the target. Just get good enough where people contact you for your services. You call the shots for your services, whether it's trading, speaking, building houses, being the good, become the good. Then money isn't the focus. People are 100%. 100%. The network, the people you know, the life you lead, the lives you touch. If you can have a business that makes money and touch lives, it's an unbelievable. Soon was a hot coin, but maybe it was a little too hot, right? And look, it had the moving averages far apart. It's now below the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. That's bearish. If you're below the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, you're away from the 21 on the daily. I'll tell you that. Anytime something pumps, you better not chase. You pull a Fibonacci and you wait. And so that's got to bounce. 786 looks likely too. So soon just looks like it's coming down and the accumulation area would be a lot lower, like somewhere in here. That 786 would be the prime area for discount. You want to buy the discount. I preferably would buy discount for anything in life, right? You can go to the store and say, hey, when are you guys not having a sale? I want to buy them, right? Nobody does that. Wow, Neuro AI, we're looking for that nice little flag. Never got it, and it dumped to the downside too. So even speculative altcoins struggling. That actually looks like it could maybe even go lower. It's a descending triangle below the daily 200. Attempting to find a bottom, and I bought into this coin a long time ago. A nothing burger now, right? Turned into garbage. Hey, I call it out when I see it. A lot of coins really did not a sauce, man. SPK. Sorry, I had SPX there. Spocky, dude. So SPAC, we looked at it, and I said it might make a right shoulder and take a dump down. And we looked at it earlier today already on the channel. It doesn't look amazing. It's struggling. I'll try to look at it maybe in a different light and see what I see. Pumped up, that's basically a descending triangle on the daily, or maybe even more of a bear, a falling wedge. Yeah, 786 fib. This looks a lot like you're looking at what we just went over there. The soon, right? It looks just like soon. This song's funny. It always kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Okay, let's look at POPCAT PAAL AI. I can already tell you right now, AI coins are highly speculative right now and not being talked about. And they've been getting dumped and then with lower liquidity. And no, there's not enough liquidity for them too. So they're going to struggle. POPCAT's hot, but you got to get Solana to really start moving again. And Solana started kind of getting beat up by ETH too. Is 200 sold the top yet again? Like every single time we get a rally, it gets stunned. It's been very, very frustrating for alts. And that's why swing trading them has been the best. I still like this higher low, and I believe faith over time that POPCAT will pump. One of my favorite coins to trade. When it pumps and starts to do damage, I'm going to be trading POPCAT. Mark my words. One of my favorite coins to trade is POPCAT. I've made gains on it almost every time I've swung traded. So I don't want to trade it until it's perfect because I want to keep that streak alive. I got coins that I love to trade, and I just come back to them only when they're in that pump phase. Like during this pump phase, then I wait again. They get back up again, I trade them right here, and that's it. PAAL AI was a big winner. A lot of people loved it. Look at the run-up it had, and then we knew about it early, too, and it ripped. Wasn't even on MEXC. Then it got onto MEXC and started to pump. It was one of those coins we found before it hit MEXC. POM AI, too. POM AI, PAAL AI. We were all over it. PAAL was hot, though. Remember, then it had some type of exploit, and it got completely demolished. If you look at it, it's attempting to make some type of rounded bottom. For me, it's attempting to make that Adam and Eve. This is a coin you either have to have faith that it's going to pump and buy in now, or just not believe in. The TA is a little saucy right now, and you got to wait your turn. Yeah, it's choppy. It's not a lot of structure. Somewhat of an Adam and Eve double bottom that could break out, forming a bottom here. You're definitely buying the discount, but it's up to you. I wouldn't touch it. I think there's a way better opportunity, but hey, you do you. Thank you for the super chat. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice at all for any reason, right? I mean, TOSHI looked good. It broke out. I wanted to see it make the flag. I said, if it keeps making the flag, then you can trade it. No. It came back for what's called the retest on the top of the flag. And the bounce maybe all the way, so you're looking for that to bounce and retest. Again, I'm not into this coin. I don't really care much about it. I believe it's the cat, Coinbase cat, right? Which God bless. I mean, I love the cat. I don't want to, God bless Brian. I love that cat. But, I don't trade this coin right now. Almost looks like it could come right back down into like a tighter channel, right? Love to see if it could break out. Previous resistance is support. But if not, it comes down and then it kind of goes lower, hangs out. There's Bitcoin just hugging 116. So every time it threatens to dump, it dumps a little bit. But still looks more bearish than bullish right now. Get above the 1 minute 200 and I'll take you seriously. Somewhere at looks like it would be at 117.7 now if it did occur. I'm not about getting the perfect price, like the number, like 116.79. I don't care. I'm about getting in at the right place on the chart. The landscape of the chart makes more sense to me than the numbers. Back at 117, I'll take it. As long as Bitcoin can hold 117, we can kind of build. And remember, I did buy Bitcoin today on that dip. I felt like you have to buy the dip. Again, or I have to buy the dip. You don't have to do anything. But if I called myself you, my nickname you, Oh, stupid you. You buy that dip, you. I'm talking to me. So So $60 of the fear and greed index, right? And historical values. I mean, 60 is a really actually good place for me personally. 60 down to 30 in a bull run is great. I mean, you get into the shaded region, boom, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do get, I'm still looking for that bounce. Look at that huge pump for Bitcoin out of nowhere yet again. And let's look at the 4-hour 200 moving average. All right, we got to get back above that too. But it says I believe we will, man. I got faith Bitcoin comes up here, consolidates, makes a beautiful flag, and we end up going to town here. They flatten these shorts. Make some type of, inverted here, and we get it. We win, baby, we win. It's all about the 1 minute 200. We gotta win there. And we're playing games here at the edge of this channel, for sure. And I gotta admit that it doesn't look amazing. We gotta get a bounce. Who does TA faster, more efficiently, and more fun than that? I mean, come on now. Look at the gap of the VRVP, baby. You can see how we could get the bounce. You can see how we can fight off the bears here. Is there enough liquidity to keep us alive? 116,000. If you like Sam's streams, then you will love being in the Discord. Like-minded boys and girls helping each other out. Get the education you deserve. Go to www.cryptolifer.com, baby. Hit the subscribe button. Why would you want to subscribe to any other trading group? I don't take a day off. 1,730 days straight. I'm there at night. I'm there in the morning. The calls continue to come in. The gains on gains on gains on gains on gains. And we go over Super Chat after Super Chat. Break it down. Have some fun. Missed you, brother. Hope all is king. Shout out to Crypot King, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you. Thursday night stream was fire last night. Thank you for saying that, man. I really appreciate the feedback there. Really, really do. I joined yesterday. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate that. So we may have found the daily bottom. 117 gets to fight another day. 116.8. Nice little low buy there. Joined yesterday as well. Thank you so much. God bless all the people that joined. Thank you very, very much. That's awesome to hear. Let's look at Telcoin as we continue to move forward. And today is the macro technical analysis video that we'll be putting out too as well. Macro technical analysis will be help breaking it down and showing you some stuff. Telcoin, TEL USDT. Been trading Telcoin on and off for a while. It had a really good run up. A couple years back, it was like the hotness. It reminds me of when I was coaching my daughter's soccer in Boston, because I remember going over Telcoin. And it's so weird. Life moves so fast, everyone. I was just 24, then 28, then 30. My 30s went by like this. Like I went through my entire 30s. Like I remember being like, wow, I'm 30 years old. That's crazy. I struggled through my 30s. It was a tough time in my life. 30 to 36, I was lost. I didn't understand. I thought I was going to be way in my 20s. I was polished. I had ideas. I got lost along the way. I didn't follow my destiny. For whatever reason, I was supposed to get lost because I was supposed to help other people that got lost. See, God wanted me to be lost so I could be found. Once I got found, I could identify a lost person. Now, if I was never lost, I wouldn't really know how to help others in the way I do on this channel. So God gave me a gift when I was lost. He basically was giving me an education on how to help others that were lost in the future, but I didn't know that. I thought I was lost, man. And I was. God had to keep me lost for me to really learn what it was like. And so I was in a bit of state of turmoil, man. And I kept asking God many times. I said, I know I'm close to something, but why do I feel so lost? I felt alone. I felt like I wasn't a part of a lot of things. I isolated myself many times. When I should have been around a lot of people having fun, I wasn't. And I hope you don't do that. Get yourself out there. Go to those events. Find a group to meet. Don't sit alone in that apartment. Please. When you're young, it can eat you away. Especially young men, you're not getting the looks from girls you want, and you're just like, you start to lose your confidence. You get depressed. You don't want to go out. Don't do that, And you turn to the internet, you know what I'm saying? And that whole scenario. So there's 1,000 pitfalls out there for all of us to take us down. We just got to remain strong. Telcoin looks beautiful to me. Like it's something that I would say is a yes. I put an alert there and look for it to pump, but Telcoin looks absolutely lovely. And if Bitcoin can hold 117K and we can stop the shenanigans, there's a chance that we actually get a bit of a move here on Telcoin. So I would put Telcoin on your radar. And the stop could be deep below 44, was still a rewarding 3.77 risk to reward ratio, which is top notch to me. So shout out to anyone the person who gave that. God bless you. I'll take a look at the super chats and we will find out who you are. Oh, we will. And we will thank you once we know you. Find out exactly who you are. Man. No, seriously, let's see who gave these super chats. No, we're meant. Yeah, exactly. We get isolated together because they don't, Triple my account, said Little Ray. Hey, God bless you, Little Ray J. For the machine, can you go over soon? From Biscuits, God bless you, Biscuits. Thank you. Michael Kelly threw it down. Thank you for the $9.99, Michael. That's very nice of you. Sam, can you look at XNA and Vapor? Do you think they will make a comeback? I don't know about Vapor, but possibly XNA. I do like Vapor, though, because it's positive virtual, but man, right? Can you please give your opinion about all the chart patterns, trading indicators? All chart patterns. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, just a pretty cool thing to use in the background. And it can help you kind of understand and find patterns. Why not? Soon you'll be so trained you won't need it, but it's fun. Test it yourself. See if it's right. Put it up there. See what's going to do. Back test it. Put an alert. See if it actually does it. How many times it might be accurate for you, you know? You can back test anything you want if you put in the work. Is POPCAT cooked? Can you check out POPCAT? We looked at POPCAT. 2 people asked Alan Sanchez, who is the same person. Hey, Sam, I'm looking sharp, brother. Can you please tell me if you see a head and shoulder on the 8-hour chart on Spark? And we got pants on, everybody. Group of pants, man. Yay, we have pants on. Those pants were CGI. They were Photoshopped, or they were put on by After Effects. Bitcoin dominance on the move. We got to look at Tether dominance too. Gonna join the trading group soon. Can't wait to be a part of something different. God bless you. Thank you very much for saying that. They get us excited for these short-lived rallies. Kind of been a trader's market. 100%, Michael Reinhardt. Can you check out POPCAT? We did look at POPCAT. God bless you. Thank you. Sorry for making you do it 3 times. I'm so sorry. MINOTAUR be like, get them out of here. I know, right? Can you check out PAAL? Papa, we looked at PAAL AI. Thank you, JLit TV. Congrats on 100K. Thank you, even though they snuffed me. Been watching you since you had around 11,000 subs. So proud of how far you've come. I am getting myself from 10 to 50 so I can do lives for my company. It is hard. 100%, man. Very hard. Thanks, Sam. Literally ease my pain. Hey, God bless you, brother. I hope everything's all right. Good morning, Lifer. Can we check on Toshi? We did. Thank you, Johnny 500. You're so right. Committed to my self-employed after 20 years. Shout out to Arthur talking about how she went from self-employed, from working for someone to becoming self-employed. And the most difficult, necessary, but it was the best move ever made by Arthur Crypto. Spirit matters. Bless you. And appreciate the insights of the stories during the weekly screen share. Andrew, that means a lot to me for saying that. Thank you. Intel coin from Omar Lopez. And I appreciate that. A lot of social connections I get from this. It just made me realize, like, I pour my heart out in that weekly screen share. I get some feedback here today, and that's really nice. So thank you. And God bless everybody out here that really puts their best foot forward, loves people, speaks highly of others. If you have nothing nice to say, there's nothing worth saying at all. Telcoin looks interesting, and I've seen Telcoin pump when the rest of the market's kind of flat. Hyperliquid is still holding gains too. I really like Hyperliquid. Compared to the rest of the market, it's looking absolutely lovely. I put out almost every trade that I think is hot. You got to scan through all my the altcoin chart setups that I have because there's so many in there. And you could backtest the ones that didn't play out and all that. But man, it's been, you know. AERO doing crazy numbers too as well. So I really like Hyperliquid though. It's still in the running. Nothing has changed for Hyperliquid for me. It may lose this pattern and go a little more sideways. Like it may open up this trend line, something like that. That's okay if it does. Open-minded either way. Everybody, thank you so much for being here and being a part of the stream. I appreciate it more than you would ever know. Today was kind of a rough start, so I'm really happy to see how many people showed up, and I'm very grateful for that. Probably had even more had I not had a hiccup, so that tells me that we are strong, we are growing, and people are here to show up no matter what. Thank you so much for being a part of the stream. Thank you so much for kicking it with the lifer. I love you. I appreciate you. And I believe in you more than you would ever know. I know that you could become me and I could become you. We are all the same. Together we work. Together we push. And I thank you so much because without you, there's no show. Without your most precious asset, which is your time, there's no viewership, right? There's no advertising dollars for Google to sell. There's no show for, they can't show their ads how many people were watching the show, right? So remember, every one of you makes up the value here today. And I capitalize on it. I appreciate it. And it means the world to me. So thank you so much. May God bless each and every one of you for sharing what you do, which is your time and your knowledge. Bitcoin, inverted head and shoulder. Come on, baby. Let's get it. Let's change this. Let's get the bounce off 116.8, 117. And see if we can save the day here. And say, you were scared. No, you were scared. No, you were scared. I'll see you all tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Bright and early for a quick morning stream. And then the night, we do 4 live streams on the weekend. Last weekend, the weekend streams really came through. They really helped us out because had I taken the weekends off, I would have been completely lost and not known a thing. This Pocket Square doesn't come with this tie. I just matched them out of nowhere. I can't, that blew my mind too. I know it's crazy, but I'm a pattern guy. And when I see things just, oh man. And so I came all excited. Pocket Square match, boom, boom, boom. And then the electricity went off. I was a bit devastated this morning. Shout out to everybody. Thank you so much. I love you all. God bless you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, the secret to success is getting started.